and welcome to the news at 7 on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikeke Igado Kure. The headlines, these are: Independent National Electoral Commission says adequate arrangements have been made for inclusive election. On the foreign scene, Britain backs French plan for European Defence Force. And in sports, former Super Eagles player advised Nigeria team to beware of Iceland. Details in a moment. Please do stay with us. And now the news in full. The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says the commission has perfected arrangements for the redeployment and deployment of ballot papers printed in Braille to ensure that visually impaired persons vote unaided in the 2019 general elections. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Mahmood Yakubu, stated this in Abuja at the weekend. The Commission's boss noted that the exercise is part of the Commission's effort to make the exercise all-inclusive for the people living with disabilities in the country. He noted that the Commission had started with the provision of magnifying glasses for the albinos, promising that wheelchairs will also be provided for the crippled.
People with disabilities in the electoral and political process of our country have been discriminated against, disenfranchised, and have never really been part of the electoral process of their country. Part of the key reason is access to polling unit. How accessible are our polling unit, electoral materials to different forms of disabilities? In totality, the electoral process, how has it been inclusive of people with disabilities? To see how, first and foremost, the polling unit layout can be constructed in a way that people with all forms of disabilities, especially wheelchair users, can move freely in a polling unit. The placement of ballot boxes. How can you place it in a position where someone on a wheelchair or on a roller skate can vote without being assisted?
The federal government has been asked to do everything possible to protect Nigerian citizens living in other countries. Reacting to the persistent killings of Nigerians, especially in South Africa, the people said government must take every serious measures to end the trend.
It depends on what we have gone out there to show them that we are. Some of them are not portraying Nigeria in a good image. Some of them are just there pushing cocaine. And to a large extent, they have also transferred that to those that are innocent. In a foreign land, you can't joke with a single soul of an American and you go scot-free. Nigeria as a whole, we've not really done much on protecting the rights of our citizens, even in the country, not even talk of abroad. If incidents like this happen, they don't even treat it as if something happens. They take it with casual attitude. So it's because it's just an ordinary Nigerian, and so the government should step up their game and ensure that things like this don't happen next time, even if it means putting strict policies that will have to checkmate every single Nigerian living outside the country.
It never become weekly. No go allow people in the street to rest. They go depose. That is what is happening in South Africa. They're all the same. South Africans should remember that we Nigerians helped them to fight apartheid. They should take that one as a responsibility to make sure that they protect Nigerians. Nelson Mandela was in Nigeria for many years, and Nigeria took care of him. So we are pleading to them that we should see ourselves as one African. We Nigeria, we are very hardworking. Unlike what Baba Buhari tell us, say we are lazy. Go to Gambia now. You think that is Nigeria that hold Gambia? They are the carpenter, they are the mechanics, they are everything in Gambia. It is because they don't have orientation. So they see these our people as a threat. All we will embrace that they too, they should try and do something for their life and make Africa great.
Cannot see a Oyibo kill Oyibo. They protect themselves. We need something like this. You protect your border. We all have the same cause. We are one. We need to stop killing ourselves. We are not happy. South Africa, let them know. Please let them stop killing Nigerians. Nigeria government should help us. Our ambassador should help us. Preach peace and let there be peace in our continent.
This is not good actually, and it is sometimes the problem of our leaders here. If the leaders will wake up and take the thing very serious, this thing will not be happening. So we are not happy with what is happening, and we hope the government will take a quick action about it.
Motorists in the FCT have been advised to obey the necessary rules of the road and also put the vehicles in proper shape to avoid road hazards that are common during the rainy season. Those who spoke with our correspondents say adequate caution must be taken while driving during the rainy season.
The rainy season is actually here, and there is need for people to put their vehicles in order because very soon there will be some very heavy downpour. People need to check their tires, people need to check their windscreen, people need to check their cars very, very well to make sure that their cars are okay so that they don't get stuck in the middle of the rain. And check your wipers very well at this time of the year to make sure that your wiper is functional so that when you come out there and the storm is heavy, you won't have blur vision.
Normal human being who is mentally sound, you know that you don't have control over the vehicle you are driving. In the sense that this is mechanical, it is designed for our own use, but then you have to be careful the way you use it. So whatever is required to make a car comfortable for usage should be put on a car before usage. Like some people, they don't even have seat belt in their car. So you make sure they put their seat belt, put wiper. Very soon we will enter thick rain. You move freely without any problem.
Core Public Education Officer, Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, BC Kasim, in this interview cautioned road users not to neglect the basic ethics of driving, especially during the rainy season.
The Federal Road Safety Corps wish to use this medium to caution drivers to adopt the common sense speed limit. What do we mean by this? Even if stipulated speed limit is 100 kilometers per hour, once it is raining, you have to come to what is known as common sense. Use your common sense to determine your speed limit. It's always very foggy and visibility is always low around this period. And that is why we are worried about the neglect of basic ethics of driving during rainy season. A lot of people still use braking systems that are faulty. A lot of people still use tires without grip that could make vehicles slide easily during this period. We want to caution that your lights must be working, your headlamps and rear lights. The headlamp has to be put on when it's raining for you to see, and the rear lights also for you to be seen. See and seen is the key word during the rainy season. And you should equally be aware of potholes that could easily be covered with water you will not know, and it could be deep and vehicles could easily lose control. Also, slippery surfaces will abound everywhere. There will have been some vehicles that will have poured diesel or AGO on the road without you knowing, and water will cover it slightly, and if you slide your brake anyhow, you will find yourself in the bush. And your wipers must be adequately working. It will rain sometimes that you will not be able to see at all, that you need to park your vehicle. If you have to park your vehicle, let it be at a safe place where another vehicle cannot hit you or where you cannot witness falling tree, because some people will run from one death and go and be confronted with another death. So we wish you safe motoring during the rainy season.
The Assistant Controller General, Federal Fire Service, Abuja, Quintus Azubo, has called for the need to have a standard operating procedure for different scenarios. Azubo made the call at the weekend while briefing newsmen as part of activities marking the 2018 World International Firefighters Day. According to him, Nigeria has lost more than 5.5 trillion naira to various fire disasters across the country in the past 5 years. He said the challenge confronting the fire service in Nigeria is enormous.
There are obvious deficits in firefighting equipment, fire stations, fire infrastructure like fire hydrants, where the firemen are supposed to, if there's a fire outbreak, you need to pick your water from the hydrants. We don't have enough hydrants. Even the ones that have been installed by the past, you find out in the course of reconstruction, they are pulled out and nobody cares to put them back. So it's really a challenge. So we need to strengthen our capacity. We need to employ more firemen. We need to do training on a regular basis, training and retraining. So that is not happening, and most of these things are happening in the states, and the states controls over 90% of fire stations in the country. So they are relevant stakeholders. Also at the federal, what we're trying to do is to see if we can rejig the Fire Service Act to compel the states to at least to meet the minimum standards for establishment of a fire station. Because if a fire happens in a place like Lagos, it's happening in Nigeria. It's not just Lagos State alone, because anything that happens in Lagos affects the entire country. So there's need to see the issue of safety and security as a national issue as well.
International Firefighters Day is a time where the world's community can recognize and honor the sacrifices that firefighters make to ensure that their communities and environment are as safe as possible. Residents of the FCT Abuja has called for the Nigerian police and other security agencies to be mindful of all the crime flash points in the territory in order to curb activities of hoodlums. Speaking with Human Rights Radio, some residents were particular about the Galadimawa roundabout and its environs.
My fellow Nigerians that are working in the night, especially in Galadimawa roundabout, also times they normally snatch back those people that used to enter vehicle. They should be entering by the park, not by standing by the roadside. They should be very careful the way they enter bike, the way they enter motor to their various places.
Government should improve on security, because if I choose I want to go out and I want to come back late at night, I should have that freedom. I can't, because of security reasons, restrict my own personal life. I would rather advise that the government should improve on security in this area. We have the police, it's just simply to deploy them or equip the vigilante with the police force so that it's going to be a stronger force, because the truth is, if you want to guide your house and you put a thief to guide your house, nothing is going to get missing.
The situation of country now, everybody has to play safe in everything that we are doing, and also since the place is too bad, they should not be kept late at night. Latest 10 o'clock, everybody has to be at home. And also government to put security personnel along the road, let them be working 24 hours.
With what we have been hearing for people, the way people snatch away back, if you are walking around that place, you should just be careful and mind the way you move late hour in this environment. Government, they should help us to make more security over the area of Galadimawa roundabout for more people to have freedom to go to their house when they are coming from work in late time.
We'll now take a short break. We'll be right back. Please do stay with us. Welcome back. Another foreign scene, Britain is back on the French plan to create an European military intervention force as a way to maintain strong defense ties with the EU after Brexit. The British Junior Defense Minister Frederick Coulson said London was very keen to support French President Emmanuel Macron's plan for a force that could be deployed rapidly to deal with crisis. The force, known as the European Intervention Initiative, would be separate from other EU defense corporations. 25 EU countries signed a major defense pact in December, agreeing to cooperate on various military projects, but it is not clear whether Britain would be allowed to take part in any of these after it leaves the bloc. London has always resisted moves to create anything resembling an EU army, but it has also stressed it wants to continue to have close security ties with the EU even after Brexit. In sports, former Super Eagles captain Joseph Yobo has cautioned the senior national team to beware of Iceland ahead of the World Cup Group D battles in Russia. The former Everton central defender said instead of Eagles thinking of what to make of Argentina and their talismanic Lionel Messi, Iceland remains the surprise package of the group. Yobo disagreed with Nigerian football fans that they are fretting over Super Eagles' backline and the goalkeeping aspect of the Russia-bound team. Speaking from the experience he garnered playing in 3 World Cups for the Eagles, Yobo wants the team to take every game at a time. He said no team should go to the World Cup and be dreaming of playing in the final, but rather teams should focus on the first game. And that's the news this hour, but we also like to remind you that the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) says adequate arrangements have been made for inclusive election in 2019 general elections. On the foreign scene, Britain backs French plan for European Defence Force. And in sports, former Super Eagles player advised Nigerians to beware of Iceland in Russia 2018. Thank you for listening. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.